Shots are fired now between blockchains, and of course, Sui and Solana are going head to head in a battle of titans. We're going to break it all down for you guys today. You don't want to miss it. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. I want to thank our sponsor today, and that is iTrust Capital. If you're looking at going into a crypto IRA, this is the place to start. Just go over to iTrust Capital. You can set up your own IRA, do your own directed trading with very low fees, no monthly fees for your IRA itself. And the cool thing here is you can get access to almost anything in crypto, including gold and silver. So just use our link down below, get $100 in funding. Let's get over to this first tweet right here. Sui, this was coming directly from the Sui network. And of course, you can kind of see Evan. We interviewed him. If you guys didn't catch that video, go back and check it out. That was our video. Got some good traction over there. So nice job on the Sui team for out there promoting it. And of course, when you look at one of the biggest news items out there is this right here. And of course, that is Phantom now allowing Base to come into the Phantom app. Now, think about this for a second. If you've got Phantom now having Base as a solution within the app, what does that do to Solana? Because Solana has pretty much been the titan within the Phantom app. Does this have any effect on Solana? I think it will. And this could play out into a lot of the scenarios for a Solana and Sui dogfight. So we'll be watching this one closely. One other thing that's happening right here, Drop is in. This is another wallet for Sui that is very tied into MemeCoins. Most likely we're going to see a lot more activity. I'll talk about that in a second of why MemeCoins I think are going to explode on Sui. And we have anticipated a few networks out there to kind of get into the meme craze. And I think that is the factor. One of the things that has held up meme tokens and Sui to a certain extent has been just stablecoins. And of course, USDC is now available on chain with Sui. So if you are using a Sui wallet, in the past, when I tried to get to BLUB, I had to buy Sui, move Sui to that wallet, use Sui as basically the gas to get my BLUB, and that being a meme token, which I'll show here in a second. This is going to change things dramatically in the meme token arena, but also just in terms of liquidity. So a big, big win. And when I had Evan on last, I think it was 2 weeks ago, he mentioned this very issue. And it's so good to see a chain actually follow through and say, and he did say it was going to happen very soon. Well, it's happened today. So big news on the front right there. Coinbase assets, of course, tweeting right here. Assets are adding to the roadmap today. USDC on Sui. So most likely we'll see Coinbase lining up as this as well. Other things that are going on, and I want to kind of just show you something. When you add a stable coin to a blockchain, and I hope Cardano is listening in on this because this is what they need to do, but this is a good example of Solana when USDC stablecoins were added, including the stablecoin market cap, daily active addresses also went up with it. And you can kind of see there's the growth level of a chain that has good liquidity and of course access to a stablecoin. That's one of the key things that we're most likely going to see. Another thing to look at is just in general, the net flows. When you look at, let me kind of zoom in on this right here. If you look at top 15 net flows, right now, Sui has been able to maintain this, number 3, without a stablecoin. So that in itself could really represent a big move up over Optimism's mainnet and possibly challenge Solana as the top 15 net flows by chain. So pretty big news out here. I think this is where it's going to get to. Latest also, 27% of Sol's outflows last month were going into Sui. So as you can see, there's a little bit of movement here, a little bit of swapping with tokens. And of course, if you guys are and have been on Solana since the early days with us, then maybe it's time to take some profits and take a look at some other alternatives out there. And of course, that's one to watch for sure. The other thing that's happening, of course, Solana's not sitting on their hands. Juke Mobile is now live on the App Store, so that at least did launch today. There are some things, though, that I think is probably more in response to some of the other chains, including Sui, and some of the movements that have been happening since Breakpoint. I want to go to a quick clip, because this is Jupiter's mobile ad, and just watch it, and then I'll respond to it. Take a look. Did you guys catch that, what they were trying to do there? Because this was, to me, when I look at advertising in general, you don't necessarily want to focus on some of the failings of it. And that is the issue. First of all, Jupe is a great platform. But when you have scenarios where transaction swaps are not going through, you get that failed mechanism. And of course, what they're highlighting there was that this automation that's going to be helping failed transactions go through. And I think that is something that I probably would have left out of the ad, but just me instead of retry. So, all right, so this clip is where it all begins. This is shots fired coming over the bow from Sui over to Solana. This is the Miston Labs, that's Sui, and their co-founder talking about outages. Take a look.
Obviously, some networks have struggled. When do you become battle tested? It could happen, right, where you just get a huge influx of users and it's going to test your system, and that's when you really know.
The amount of users in Web3 today is so low that the outages that are happening now are pitiful. Like, it should not be happening. There aren't enough users in Web3 to take Sui down, right? So the amount of scale that leading layer L1s propose to have is just not there. You might say you're having 100 million transactions hitting the network, but realistically, it's not. The numbers are way smaller. We benchmarked Sui, our smallest configuration, to 297,000 transfers per second. That is more than Visa, Amex, MasterCard combined. And if that's not enough, validators can double capacity, triple capacity. We've proven that you add 7 times the capacity, you use 7x the throughput, and you increase the latency by 0. That's how scale works. We have no worries about being able to take on the world's demands, but I think the other networks do, which is why they have to quote a TPS, or they have to quote these numbers to show that they've got some element of ability to deal with the demand.
So we know who he's talking about, and of course that has been one of the challenges that Solana has faced for quite some time. It's not new, and the chain has been able to sustain in terms of transaction growth and a lot of advancements. I was a little disappointed in Breakpoint this year, when you look at the amount of advancements that are starting to take place. Advancements on Sui, though, are not slowing down. One of them is Get Stash. This is sending assets that are going to kind of Web 2 platforms. And if I zoom in on that, you're going to notice here, simply create a link and you can share it. So you can do this with Google, Twitch, and then of course connect your wallet. Also, one of the things that's coming is they have the potential coming in on Facebook. I want to show you a clip real quick. Take a look.
What's the vision for Sui in the future? I mean, would I be able to log into my Facebook account or something like that and use it to tap and pay for everyday goods?
Absolutely. I think you'll be able to do that before the end of the year.
Okay, fantastic. I'll hold you to that.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, so end of year, when they say that they're going to do it, when I had the interview with Evan, I was surprised that he promised certain things, especially the stablecoin, and in reality, they delivered on that very, very succinctly. So I like that about chains when they are so confident that they're going to be able to achieve a certain amount of technology. That's a big deal going forward, because Web 2 to Web 3 is going to take time for adoption. And if we can see more of it, and I'll show you some more material here that I think will convince you. But one of the things that I'm looking at, of course, has been the transactions, and they've pretty much exploded over the last 30 days. Which is why we've seen Sui continue to climb the ranks in terms of token size, and also just in general, the profitability that we've seen on this token in terms of just the last 30 days. Look at the last 7 days on this, how quickly transactions are continuing to grow. I think this is just the beginning for Sui. And if you look at the scenario of active accounts, also all trending up. That's the 3-month. Here's the new coins on token, or on the Sui blockchain. This is the area where we're going to see a lot more meme coins. And think about this, just like Solana. Tens of thousands of these things are out there. And this is an opportunity, really, because Sui has not had the liquidity of a stable coin. This could change the format of how we see projects launched over on Sui. So big deal. Here's a good example of comparing the two chains. If you look at just Sui versus Solana right here on Total Value Locked, look at the difference right here, guys. There is a massive amount of upside here for Sui being in the green right there. So 1.7 billion locked on Sui versus 12 billion on Solana right now. The other thing that's going into this is the project leaderboard. These are different projects, dApps, that are on Sui. One that was pretty impressive to me is the leader. And the reason is this is a SocialFi platform called Record, 540,000 accounts. When you go over to their website, This essentially is kind of a hybrid of a TikTok model. Ads you basically get paid for 100%. You can sell your videos. You can do a lot of different features. It's designed to kind of respond to content on social. And it's got a lot of other features coming, including transfer money, being able to go into this, something we talk about on social quite a bit. I think that in itself is very interesting because SocialFi, I think, is one of the areas that we're going to see disrupted so much with blockchain, so much so. If you've been watching our videos, we've been talking about what's happening with TikTok. Guess what? A lot more is going to happen with TikTok, possibly over on the Polkadot chain. So go check yesterday's video out. You'll get what I'm talking about there on that one. The other thing to look at right here, of course, is the meme coin activity. Now remember SunPump versus Pump.Fun. Now SunPump, this is the red right here. I'm just gonna zoom in on that for you a little bit. This was Tron. We thought we might see some moves there. Remember Sundog and some others that had some significant upside, but everybody went right back to Pump.Fun after this faded off. Well, Sui is just now getting into the meme coin race, and I think this will be the question that we've got to look at potentially going into this bull run. Another thing I want to get into is the Miston Labs co-founder talking about the same event. He was talking about meme coins versus Sui gaming. Listen to what he said.
What do you think of all the distractions then this year, celebrity meme coins on Solana and other chains, they've all got them. And is it a distraction or does it draw people in and potentially drive some adoption?
So I think the worst use case to onboard the mass market to is that kind of activity, quite frankly. Our goal is to drive the 3.3 billion gamers into Sui and anybody that wants to do any form of commerce into Sui. So we're focused on real impactful use cases at the scale of the world rather than the minute world of Web3 that exists today. You do need to have some element of experimentation in the Web3 space to figure out the real use cases. I just think let's be careful not to make that the defining product of the space.
Maybe Solana has been defined by the meme and a lot of the gaming ecosystem that has been built upon it. We haven't seen a lot of releases in terms of new major advancements. And I think Solana Pay is the one that I'm most disappointed with, along with Solana Mobile to a certain extent, that has not really achieved the level. Sure, granted, they have achieved a lot in a very short period of time, and especially in the early stages, but eventually you're gonna have to crack through on all this stuff. If you look at some of the meme coins over on Sui, this is one that we've tracked. This was BLUB. And if you guys have been following us, and if you're in our diamond circle, you probably got notified on this one because this is a trade that we made. This is a nice little move here just since September into where it is right now of almost 9x. That's 800, almost 900% growth. This is on Sui. You can get it within the Sui wallet. And now that we've got USDC, I say we, Sui, has USDC, the likelihood of flexibility, a lot more meme tokens. Watch this token and also watch this chain. I think we're gonna see some activity coming our way. The other thing, of course, coming into it, and this is the knock on Sui, I would say, if you're listening out there, Sui team, if you're going to be a gaming project blockchain, you've got to really dive in and get more gaming. So I think the biggest thing for Sui, this is their gaming page, is to get out there and really get moving on the devs and try to get more gamer devs moving this direction. And I think many people would look at this, gaming is going to be one of the killer apps of blockchain in general. So they do need that. So it's not all, roses and daffodils over here. Sui, of course, join us for Sui Connect. This is coming up in Dubai on the 14th of October. And just as a reminder, guys, Sui does not pay us to do this, nor does Polkadot pay us to do the video yesterday. These are just our analysis looking at, sure, we like these tokens, absolutely. Any kind of token out there or technology that advances and can show true project movement, then that's what we're looking at. I'm going to be watching what they're talking about over here at Sui Connect. It's just around the corner. It may not be a big event, but I'm very curious what they'll be saying. So we'll give you guys a full breakdown of it when it happens next week for sure. Further into this, I just want to take a quick look over here on CoinMarketCap. So if you look at CoinMarketCap today, we're at market cap 2.16 trillion, volume at about 75 billion. If you take a look at the market cap, and we'll go over here and sort this by fully diluted, all right? And if we come down here to Sui, fully diluted, the likelihood it's holding at the number 19 slot right now, but really this is easily in a position where it could flip Toncoin, possibly even make some challenges. Toncoin most likely. If you take a look at the market cap in general, Sui, of course, down here easily could start to make its way at 5 bill, coming across maybe all the way up into a top 10 token, depending on if it can escape and get past Shiba and, of course, Avalanche, which I think is going to be a big one. But remember, Avalanche most likely not going to stay still. Whether we see Cardano fall out of that and maybe Toncoin, I don't know with what's happening with Discord. That may not necessarily happen. There's a lot of things happening right now within blockchain, social, technology advancement that is all starting to come together all at once. So keep an eye on us and, of course, what's happening. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure and do that right now. If you're not in the Diamond Circle, make sure and get in on our own private member group. It's where I do additional content over there. And, of course, follow me on X at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.